wonderful to see everyone here. I so wish we could be together in person. Um, it would be great to, to be able to have gathered at like Cold Stone or, Basket Robbins, even though it's wintertime. But, ice cream is always good. I just want to say, of course, good evening to everyone. And thank you for taking the time out of your schedules to be here with me. It's such a special time. It's virtual, but still we're together. And I feel like, oh, so close. And it's been so long since I've seen so many of you. I gathered you here this evening to deliver just a short message about my vision and where I see myself going in 2021. Some of you have said, oh, is she pregnant? Well, no, not physically. So get that out the way right now. So I am pregnant with a vision, with a mission. And outside of there being any miracles, other than my beautiful Anna, daughter, who many of you know, who's at the University of Champaign, Urbana, working at a PhD, there won't be any more physical births. But symbolically, I'm giving birth to the vision that I have to have leadership reflective of our diverse community here in Kitsap County. That diversity within the city of Bremerton, which is the most diverse city within Kitsap County. I have served this community for the last 20 years as an attorney. I've served as a pro tem for half of that time. And those of you, pro tem judge, filling in for judges in their absence, serving in that capacity to be able to help meet the needs of all of our communities around. Before that, I was in the Navy, serving through another government entity with the state as well. 32 years I've been here in Kitsap County. My younger sister went to Bremerton High School. In my last speech for our most recent MLK Day, I put forth a challenge, and it was, what side of history do you want to be on? And for me, I hope to be on the right side of history. And with that comes responsibility, commitment to understanding you can't just talk about it, you have to be about it. So with this announcement, I've been blessed to sit with justices and judges, and even Justice Sotomayor, and we talked about service and the great need. Sitting with Al Colvin, the first African-American city council person, a former Tuskegee Airman, meeting C.T. Vivian, and the late Charles V. Johnson most recently, and Ted Spearman here in Kitsap County, our first African-American judge. I've sat with these people, been able to be mentored, and now it's time for me to announce that I seek and I'm a candidate for Bremerton Municipal Court.
Woo!
So,
Yay!
it's official.
Go Tracy!
And
Congratulations!
so it's official, and
Yes.
you guys are the first to know. You guys are friends and family, and having represented the voice of the most vulnerable in my capacity as an attorney, getting my LLM over the last couple of years, this is my answer to my call to action to everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Okay, say it again. I missed it.
So now we have a lineup of speakers, and our first speaker is going to be Judge Robin Hunt, who's now retired, who has been my mentor for many years and my close confidant. Thank you.
I have watched and admired Tracy all the years since she's been in law school. Very impressed by her courage. It takes a lot of guts to start your own law firm anywhere, but particularly to be the first female Black lawyer in Kitsap County, which, I mean, when I was trying to break in, I'm just female back then, not, of a person of color, but it was difficult to break into the kind of the old boy network, no matter what. And for Tracy to have the courage and stamina and vision and organizational skills and just plain guts to give that a try, I just thought was very, very amazing. And then not only to try to start out, but to be successful. And as you all know, over the years, she has been immersed in community activities, both locally with all kinds of people, all kinds of groups, with her church, with the people underserved, legally, but with the domestic violence victims through the Y. She's been involved with the State Bar Association and been a director there. She has been wanted to be a judge for a long, long time. And has been pro temping in a comparable court to the court she aspires to now. I wanted to just mention two main points, and one is about the challenges that she's going to face ahead. We all know that she's wonderful. She'd just be a terrific judge, not only because she looks like some of the people that she will be serving, but because she has such a heart for people, integrity, a heart for justice, and people will respect her, but they won't be quite so afraid to go to court in front of a judge because she's a people person. I think having been a single mom is a good qualification for that too, because you have to, as you know, with those of your parents, you have to adjust to things you don't foresee, even though Anna was probably one of the most perfect kids there could be, but nevertheless. What I foresee happening, having run up against and there are a lot of wonderful lawyers in the Kitsap Bar, but I have just seen a number of times that for judge positions, particularly, the Kitsap Bar picks its own sort of favorite son or daughter and gets behind them, and then it sort of feels like that person is entitled to the job. They also then tend to disregard or even diminish important assets and values and experiences of that person that's not their favorite person. They look at a resume, a paper resume that has all sorts of other things, but not value one of the most important things, which are the people skills that are needed in a judge in the people's court, the court where most everyday people, if you're ever going to end up in court, except jury duty, is likely to be in municipal court. Tracy's life experiences way exceed anything else that anybody else who thinks they're going to run has had. They have probably no clue how they're deficient in life experiences. But I'm just bringing this up not to be negative, but I just know from past experience that we have to work harder to get her name out there. First thing we have to overcome is getting people to vote at all. A lot of people, this is going to be an off year. They're not going to pay attention to an election. I don't know, Tracy, you're the only one on the ballot, but it's also hard to get people to vote for judges because they're just not something they get up to speed on. So I usually have to go, I don't want to, shake people, but I really have to get their attention and explain why it's important to get up to speed and vote for a judge, and then get them to vote for Tracy. It's a little bit, to me, it's a little more, it requires more active involvement and engagement than just handing out flyers. You really need to, I don't mean confront in a negative way, but really get their attention. Tracy deserves and should be on this court. It's her time, and I think that if we all get behind her and have a ripple effect of other people getting behind her too, rather than just letting it take its course, she will get there. I know she will. So bravo to you, Tracy. I can hardly wait.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments and establishing our relationship. I really appreciate you in so many ways. We're going to go next to Ron Ward, mentor, big brother. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I've been knowing Tracy since 2003 when she was selected as a member of the inaugural class of the nationally acclaimed Washington Leadership Institute. And I'm not going to talk so much about her professionally. She's superbly qualified. She has given so much service professionally as a private practice lawyer, as a public sector lawyer, as an adjudicator examiner, as a pro tem judge. She served on the State Bar Board of Governors. In fact, she was the first graduate of the Institute to become a member of the Board of Governors. But I don't want to talk about that because I think most of you are familiar with her professional accomplishments and her achievements and the just staggering array of awards that she has garnered as a result of the manner in which she has given the profession. In my mind, the crucial element in consideration of the quality of her qualifications is in her legal competence and her accomplishments. I believe that she is singularly qualified because of her social consciousness and her commitment to her fellow human beings and her heart. Not something we always talk about when we're talking about this type of position. Her community and her volunteer work are staggering. As president of the NAACP in Kitsap County, as president-elect of the Kitsap County YWCA for multiple terms, in addressing issues of housing for domestic violence victims and families, in organizing and supporting reauthorization of the Voting Rights Act, and advocating for low-income people and for needs-based assistance for people. She's been a sterling example for everyone around her in that regard and well beyond her immediate circle. She's touched so many people. Jane Goodall, the primatologist and anthropologist, said that every individual matters. Every individual has a role to play. Every individual makes a difference. I think that is an excellent, indeed, it's a crucial perspective for every judge to have. When you consider the imagery they project, the profound role they play in the life of individuals and in the life of this society, that they impact with their presence and with their decisions, having that kind of what Judge Hunt called people skills, having that kind of empathy, I think is one of the most important things that a judge can have. Without content, without reference to a world, without humanity being configured in the process, we inevitably have nothing but the potential for the antithesis of justice, which is injustice. Empathy is a foundational human connection and experience. Tracy's got all of the skills professionally, but that is something no judge should be without it each time they take a seat on the bench. She has the professional qualifications, but as importantly and crucially, she has that. She will be a great judge.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all the kind words. I'm gonna go next to Cindy, who is the owner of Fresh Cup Coffee, downtown Bremerton, and a longtime client, good friend, just for a few words. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Tracy. Congratulations. And I don't even know where we met. We just seem to have always known each other. We just follow each other. My sister teaches at Cross Point Academy where Anna went. And so we see each other there all the time. And Anna worked for me for a summer before she flew off into the wild blue yonder and became an adult. We've used Tracy a few times through the business as our lawyer with our rent and stuff, our lease. And my daughter was going through a terrible situation with her ex and the kids and custody and stuff. And Tracy was just always so fair and so honest and never gave us false hope and was just always there. We knew she had our back, but would not soft code it. I think being a judge is just what would be wonderful for her. You know, she's going to be awesome, and it's just right up your alley, Tracy. So congratulations, and I will do whatever we need to do to help you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. And we will go to Addison.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. My name is Addison Richards, and I am first honored and privileged to have the opportunity to speak in such incredible company, including our two justices of the Supreme Court. I have both the privilege and misfortune of being an attorney, and the privilege, mostly in part to being a colleague of Tracy's. We've met in courtrooms from Mason County to Kitsap County. And I just see her dedication as an advocate. I see the work that she put out in the courtroom. And she's not only been a great colleague, and we know her credentials. We know she is qualified for this job, both in terms of the amount of time she spent pro temping and with her legal experience. But as previous comments have been said, she has poured into people, and it requires a real passion for justice, a real dedication to people, a real empathy to be able to pour into people for over 20 years as an attorney, the way that she has, to serve on many boards and commissions as she has. Her dedication to public service just speaks to the high quality person that she is and how much she cares about people. And I see that. And she's also been a mentor to me in bringing me into the work on the Legal Redress Committee with the NAACP Chapter 1134. And I see how she continues to move us in a direction of progress. And I see how she continues to lead with empathy and passion for justice. And there is, she's just someone who it will be well-deserved to be able to call your honor one day in a courtroom. And I just encourage everyone to get behind Tracy. As Judge Hunt said, it's Tracy's time, and let's go. Let's make it happen for her. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Addison. And James Armstrong, fellow law school fellow and Board of Governors. James, your time.
Well, I need to find my speech. Hey, I met Tracy back in law school. We're law school colleagues. And more recently, we served on the Board of Governors together, where Tracy was the Diversity Committee chair. We put together, I think, did our first diversity and inclusion plan under Tracy as chair of the Diversity Committee, and that was a huge step toward progress, starting with the Board of Governors. So I've had the opportunity to be on board with Tracy, to get to know Tracy. And Tracy is smart, Tracy is kind, but Tracy is passionate about those issues that we all, as we sit here today on this Zoom meeting, we all probably care about. Tracy is passionate about those issues. So when I picture Tracy, I'll send her a text every now and then, and we'll text back and forth. And I feel like I have that access to her because we're on the Board of Governors and having big votes and issues coming up there. To call her Your Honor someday would be a pleasure, for sure. So you have my full support, and anything I can do, please let me know. And I'm sure everybody on here feels the same way. Congratulations for throwing your hand in there.
Thank you, thank you. And we're going to end with Justice Whitener next.
Thank you, Tracy. I am so full of emotions right now because Tracy and I go way back to law school. When Tracy came in, I had just finished my first year and I was asked to do a teaching session with her group. And ever since, we've been together. We're very much involved in our community. So everything you've heard about Tracy is just straight up right on. It's Tracy. But there's something else as well. You know, I heard a lot about diversity, and when you take the bench as a judicial officer, you represent all constituents. And that is something that Tracy has. She brings the diversity lens to the bench, but she also brings the impartiality and the wisdom and knowing how to interpret the law in a manner that all feel like they've been heard. And that's what you're going to get with Tracy. She's going to see everyone. She's going to hear everyone. She's going to be prepared. And when she gives her decisions, it's going to come from a place of knowledge, not just of the law, but of people and what people go through. And that's what makes a good judge, I think. Having sat on the bench, when you walk out with that robe and they see you, and to see a Black woman, and I've worked as a Board of Industrial Insurance Appeals judge in Kitsap County, to see a Black woman judge is powerful. So seeing her in that position as a judge, not a pro tem judge, as a judge, is going to bring so much to the community that she is going to be serving, that we have to do everything in our power to make sure it happens for Tracy. Tracy is not only a friend, she's a mentor, and she's basically an advocate for all people. Because once she takes that oath, she can't advocate for one side or the other, she'll be advocating for all. And I think what's strong about Tracy is she can see all. So she's going to basically be giving decisions that represent all. But it's okay that she has her own lens, and that is the lens of diversity. And I'm really so proud of you, girl. I mean, I wish I could just reach out and hug you right now. This is wonderful news, not just for Kitsap County, but the judiciary. So let's make it happen. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Justice Yu.
Tracy, there's not much more to add, given everything that your friends have said and what Justice Whitener has just said is the import of you being there. You know, all I've done is lobby you to leave there and come over here because Seattle's always wanted you. But, you know, the wisdom of staying where you are is also so true, right? You make a difference. The only thing I'll ask you to do is to call upon your WLI family to support you in every single way that it's going to take. You know that we're all there, some 15, 16, 17 classes of people. We're there for you and we want to see you succeed, and it seems like a no-brainer to everybody. So you have our best wishes and we love you dearly and we're very proud of you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you everyone, and thank you for your kind words. I'm going to hand the rest of the program over to Molly.
Well, now that we've given you the inside scoop, I am Tracy's campaign manager. So that's my position. And I was just thrilled to receive a message from her. And just getting to know Tracy and hear her story and hearing what love you all have for her and respect you all have for her in your individual capacities is really just reassuring that she's the right person for the job. A lot of people are wondering how they can help. And the first thing that you can do is what you've done tonight, but putting pen to paper, typing on your keyboards, making a formal statement in support of Tracy. And so I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat right now the link to the campaign website, the Facebook, the Twitter. You know, feel free to follow whichever you're most comfortable with. But the most important thing is that you visit her website and make those endorsement statements so that she can have them on her website for those who visit and understand the broad base of support that she has. The second thing that you can do is reach out via the website as well if you're in the area to volunteer, to wave signs, socially distanced, of course, to drop off literature to doors. We are still doing that in a socially distanced manner. But if you are in any way willing to do physical volunteer labor, sign up on the website, join us in this push to get her elected. As so many have said, we need her diversity of perspective, diversity of experience, and just general compassion and care on the bench. And with that, I just, again, thank you so much for everything that you've already done by being here, by bringing your favorite scoop of ice cream or your slice of cake. Being able to join her and support her on this journey is, I think, the best thing that we could ask for. And I'll go bring her on now in case any of you have questions about her priority points for office or, any other aspect of the campaign and how she intends to run it. Oh, and Justice, you asked a very good question. So the filing deadline, I believe, is May 5th through 11th. So we should know by 5 p.m. on that end day if she has any challengers. And from there, we can kind of gauge how complicated the race will be. And the primary election will be on August 3rd. Ballots will need to be collected by 8 p.m. And I believe November 2nd is the general election deadline. At the same time, 8 p.m. And votes are usually counted then. And like I said, it'll depend on how many people are in the race, obviously, how quickly we know the answer to if we'll be calling her Your Honor.
And only citizens of Bremerton vote, isn't that correct?
Yes. Yep, that is correct. So,
but it doesn't make a difference if Tracy lives not in Bremerton. She doesn't have to live.
Yes. Is Tracy's husband Robert here by chance?
I'm still here.
Oh, you're here. Awesome.
I'm here.
Awesome. I was wondering if you would like to say a few words about Tracy running and any words of inspiration or words of action for folks who want to jump in and, pull up their sleeves and help get your wonderful wife elected.
Yes. My 48 years of life, I have to say I have never met anyone more passionate about helping those in the community, those that really can't help themselves. And she just gives so much of herself on an everyday basis. I mean, 24/7. There's times where I have to kind of pull her back a little bit. She's so passionate about helping those in the community and being and just being a light for everyone. And again, I just can't think of anyone that would be better suited for this position. It is just in her heart, and it would just be something that's just, she's just been wanting it for a long time, and just, it would just be just great to have her in that position to help everyone. But now comes the hard work, right? The hard work of getting her to the bench, and that is getting people to lend a helping hand, whatever that helping hand may be. But anything that you can do to assist, if that's volunteering or other means, we'd be excited and happy to have you on board.
Thank you so much. And I do want to ask one other person, because I'm sure she's got quite a few words to say. I know Anna's on the phone, and I know she has seen a lot of the journey that Tracy's been on. And Anna, if you're willing to say a few words about what it's like having seen this journey, from start to finish, how you're feeling about your mom moving forward with this dream and this goal of hers.
I can't have my camera on at the moment, but I hope everybody can hear me. I'm sure you can. I'm so proud of my mom, and I'm so happy to see all of you here to support her. It literally brought me to tears. I've been crying all day because I'm so excited. And I just hope that, I wish I was home. I'm in Champaign, Illinois doing my PhD. So it sucks that I can't be with you all and, doing all the hard work, but I will do what I can from where I am. And I just hope that everybody can get behind her and support her, because she's been working so hard and she deserves this. She deserves this so much. And I can't wait to see what happens and what God has in store. And I really just want to thank all of you for your support once again. And I ask for prayers for myself, because PhD is hard, everybody. But we're going to get behind my mom and we're going to make sure she gets what she deserves. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. And thank you to our individuals who are already, I can see, making contributions. Thank you, Justice Whitener, Chantel, Marisha, and everyone who's writing a check physically right now. Again, thank you so much for what you're able to give tonight. It really is going to boost our momentum getting started here and making sure she comes out the gate strong. So with that, I'm going to call Miss Tracy back in to take some questions, and then we'll make sure everyone gets out of here in a timely manner. I see some people picking at their ice cream already. What kind did everyone bring? I'm curious.
Unicorn ice cream in the freezer for my granddaughter, but I'm not gonna ruin it for her, and I don't need it.
We have cupcakes.
Ooh,
Oh, that's nice.
We're trying to keep them from the toddler. She almost saw them. We're hiding.
and now I was letting people know, Tracy, if anyone had questions about, your priority points for office, or, just any questions in general for you about, anything they can do to help, I just let them know we're gonna have a quick question and answer period, and then we'll make sure folks get out of here, maybe even a little early.
Yes. Hi, everybody, again. So, does anybody have any questions or anything specific? I know many of you know my passions around, I've been wanting to establish a youth court in Bremerton. And this is one of the things that I'm passionate about. And I'm excited that I'll be able to do that in some capacity in this position, but also continuing to introduce our young people to the roles of the justice system in a way that we're educating them so that they're not feeling threatened by it, but one in which they can see themselves in a career as a judge, as a lawyer, as law enforcement, because we know there are so many needs in those areas. So mentoring is continuing to be high on my list of things and priorities, and it's always just been true to my heart in all things around justice.
Tracy, I have a question. This is Karen Besserman.
Hi, Miss
with
Karen.
with Emerge Washington, and I know we haven't quite gotten to this yet in our curriculum, but I don't live in Bremerton, but I love you and I want to support you in all the ways. Give me the elevator speech. Tell me what I need to know to talk about you. What do I say when people say, why Tracy Flood?
You would say Tracy Flood is the person for this job because she encompasses Kitsap County. She encompasses Bremerton. She's been here 32 years. Her career from A to Z, from criminal misdemeanors all the way up to civil matters, just has prepared her to be the judge in Bremerton Municipal Court. And that's just a quick 1-minute spiel. You can also add things that include my experience beyond my day-to-day practice, my commitments to the community, having served on the Kitsap Community Resources Board and Olympic College Foundation Board. So all of my ties around the community, as well as the YWCA board when I was the first student representative on the Y board. So it just 100% my person, my commitment, my love for the community I've shown in my work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Miss Teresa.
Hi, Tracy. It's Morel from Chicago.
Hi, how are you?
I went to high school with Tracy. We're only 29 years old.
Yes.
So I used to be the president of the Asian Real Estate Association for Greater Chicago, and now I'm now the Midwest chair for this ARIA nonprofit, which is the largest Asian real estate association. So what I want to know is, obviously I don't live in Washington. Are we going to get any materials where I can send out like via social media? Because what I've learned now, it's social media is so big, and a lot of the millennials are jumping on, and I want to reach out to anybody I know who's in your area, at least, so that if I can't physically vote for you, I want to make sure that if I have friends in that area, that they're voting for you.
Thank you,
So
Maura. And that's a great question. And yes, we're actually, Molly's going to do a display and show my logo that we've established. You're going to be able to email it out through social media, and then we will have, she will have specific messaging that you'll be able to send and share and like and share and like and all of those things, as well as easy links to link to my website, which will be updated with information as it comes through. So that is an awesome way to be able to help when you don't live in the area and can't vote, but also when you're in the area, and especially those that are in Kitsap County and can share that information out locally. So the support is needed. And you can also fly out, and when it comes to when this COVID lifts and knock on some doors, get some steps in. So
I have to admit, where is this city?
You just fly to Seattle. I'll take it from there. I'll point you in the right direction.
I just put my email in the chat. Anyone is welcome to reach out to me if you are wondering, where those links to the Facebook website, Twitter, all that stuff are, to follow Tracy throughout the campaign. That's in the chat for you. It's just molly@sullivancampaignservices.com for those of you who are on the phone and can't see the chat.
And Molly, this is Jody. I'm one of the people that's on the call through my phone driving. So if you
Hi, Jody.
Hey, girly girl, what's up? I'm so proud of you. Girl, I got your back. If you could send me, Molly, the links through to my email that I responded to you with, that would be great.
Yes, of course. Yep.
Thank you. Love you, Trey.
Love you too, Jody. We'll talk soon. And of course, I love everybody that's on here, but